This Indianapolis Colts team preview edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN.
What's going on? This is Dwight Freeney, and you're listening to SGPN.
Everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kram?
I was just having a hard time seeing the Colts fans through the small window of my airplane as I fly over the great state of Indianapolis or Indiana. I should say.
Wow, Ryan, just throwing. I mean, I have a feeling I'm not going to be too kind to the Colts. I've had some on and off love affairs with the Colts over the years, but I do like Jonathan Taylor. I think he's good, but I'm looking at it. I'm staring at the Dan Jones
Look at this beauty
photo on your T-shirt. Shout out to the listener who came out to contest sign up weekend 2 years ago. I got a Jalen Hurts one. He gave you a Dan Jones one. I want you for SGPN going to war against corporate gambling. Gave us these shirts. Awesome gift. Awesome listener. But
it is one of those weird moments where not that anyone we've ever really come in contact with has been over the fan style weird, but the plastic bag with the shirts in it is like, you're not really sure what's coming out of the bag. Okay, it's a shirt. It's like when the guy pulled some medicinal stuff out of his sock for me in Arizona. There was a moment where it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, when someone goes to reach for a sock, the last thing you think it is going to be some weed. But shout out to all the great listeners. Yes. Hoping more come out. Contest weekend is an awesome time to come out to the Circa.
Yes.
Say hi to us every Friday night over at the Circa. We are going to be doing our show. Well, the time's a little earlier. We'll make that official announcement coming up. But Friday nights in Vegas, come out, hang out, say what's up to us at the Circuit. It's going to be awesome. Got another National Football League season upon us.
Yes,
cannot wait.
Shout out to Blue. I see Blue Dream being talked about in the chat. Ooh. Shout out to Blue Dream.
There you go. And
it's classic.
Yeah, we got Cannabis Capper in there, legend himself, Degenerate Dan, who we saw in the early morning session as 2 days continue here for the 32 NFL team previews. And of course,
he's had good attendance.
He has. And of course, make sure you listen to every episode, write down the word that I reveal that puts together the phrase that pays. Connect all 32 words, submit the phrase that pays at the end of the 32 team previews, and you have a chance to win $1,000 Circa future. Anyone can enter, although you should be of legal gambling age. The word, today's word is the number 2, Roman numeral style, right?
Really?
Roman numeral. So I.
I'm sorry. Just I'm living this with the audience.
Yes,
but pull over your car before you write this one down. If you're keeping
very
track,
easy.
You might
two lines,
and then make sure you DM Sean immediately with guesses on what the next couple words will be. Please.
Someone does a couple words ahead.
I saw that,
and he goes, "Well, I don't know where it goes after this." That's why I got to stay tuned.
Yeah,
appreciate everyone playing along. It's a fun thing to get us ready for real football. And Ryan, we are going to have real football. We will be doing an episode dedicated to the Hall of Fame game. You bet your ass. We're going to be doing that next week on our Wednesday night spot, I think. Right, Ryan?
Yeah, warm up, right? That's the picks. That's the picks episode night. So why not start getting into game shape?
All right, let's talk about the 2024 Indianapolis Colts before we hop into the 2025 schedule. Coming off an 8-9 season, 9-8 ATS. Their win total is 8.5. I feel like I this was one of the teams I adjusted one win down. I maybe had them 10-7 and then knocked them down.
Let me pull it up.
One win.
I got the
maybe double check, Ryan. Maybe I did go from 9-8 to 8-9. It's showing 9-8 as a me being incorrect here.
This would have been one of those situations where if you changed, let's see, I'll have a note right here.
Because at the end we tally up our wins, and if we are a little off, we will make some final tweaks as we go into the division.
Okay,
previews.
so it does seem like potentially you made a change on this one.
Okay. Now, but it still says 9-8, so maybe I was at 10-7.
I think you were at 10-7,
and I knocked him down. And it was all because of being at the Circa, watching Anthony Richardson in preseason football, and just going, I got to knock him down one. I got to knock him down one. And we're dealing with a similar situation here where I was hemming and hawing because, hey, if Joe Flacco gets in here, they might kind of look okay.
Your handicap did involve a lot of Joe Flacco.
It was like, well, Joe Flacco's going to get in there at some point. And he did. He wasn't great win loss, although the offense looked better. I mean, it was just how they won those games that they ended up winning with Anthony Richardson. I still don't understand. They were 6-5 with Anthony Richardson there. Only 2-4 with Joe Flacco. But I swear the offense still looked better, but it wasn't Joe Flacco at his best. Certainly, defense kind of middle of the water there. I mean, the other big takeaways are that they brought in Daniel Jones. This is insane. We know Daniel Jones was cooked. I've known Daniel Jones has been cooked from day one. He had a slight, glimpse, a slight flicker of having some sort of capacity that first Dable season.
Just say it out loud. Road playoff win.
He had a road playoff win, which puts him ahead of Justin Herbert and
Kirk Cousins.
some other elite quarterbacks. Beat a fraudulent Vikings team certainly, but then post neck injury, whatever sort of flicker of life that was there for Daniel Jones is completely gone, and you saw it last year, Ryan.
Lost the arm strength.
Arm strength and hesitancy.
Yeah,
like he's afraid to throw the ball deep.
Although I'm not going to fully attribute that to the neck injury. A part of that is Jason Garrett and Joe Judge when they neutered him.
Okay.
Because with Shermer, he had many fucks to give, and then all of a sudden they chopped his dick off, and that was the end of that. But I mean, honestly, you can save that for your Vikings handicap because they also wanted Dan Jones. Yeah, I mean, I think just in watching, I sat down. I've been trying to watch the highlights of the team the year before, and the thing that stands out to me is that basically what works for the Colts last year were running the ball, allowing their team
Jonathan
to be physical
Taylor
and running
good.
the ball, and like deep shots down the field, like anticipation deep shots. Joe Flacco obviously great at this. Even Anthony Richardson at times. I think about that Alec Pierce throw from early in the season where he just chucked it 60 plus. I think it might have been the longest air yards throw of the season. But that's not what Dan Jones does. What Dan Jones does.
There was some stat that was air yards based. It was Anthony Richardson was number 1 and Dan Jones was like 37.
When you think I'm just a homer, just go watch the cut up. You can find them on YouTube of Dan Jones deep throws to Malik Neighbors and Darius Slayton last year. He was missing them by like 10 plus yards.
Yeah.
So I don't see necessarily how this is going to work. Now you do have Pittman who does work better in that short to intermediate stuff. You still have some tight ends. I just think if you're in on this team, you have to think that the quarterback play got better. And
how is that possible?
Now, all of that being said,
Anthony Richardson too, like dealing with the shoulder injury.
I'm watching this
camp.
team though, and it's like, God damn, they're winning games somehow. The defense randomly will show up and make plays, and so it is a curious team. But I also think it's worth noting, like the way the season ended last year, there was the talk of is Steichen going to keep his job?
Yeah,
there was talk of is the franchise completely done with Anthony Richardson, who by all accounts was a Jim Irsay pick. Jim Irsay, of course, is no longer with us. And then of course we buried the lead. Did the Colts and the city of Indianapolis waste the tragic magic on that bullshit Pacers run
Oh, come
in the
on,
NBA.
Ryan. What are you talking about? The Pacers were a good team.
I mean,
I mean,
in hindsight,
they took the Thunder to Game 7. If Halliburton doesn't blow out his leg, they might be in that game.
We're gonna look back on this playoffs as like an all time low point in the NBA. Anyway, I
hate.
Yes, a little bit. I don't. I knew how I felt about this team going into it. I tried my best. That's why I was watching the tape. I wanted to see like how are they winning these games, and I saw a lot of fumble recovery luck.
Yeah,
I saw a lot of special teams activity. And for the most part, you could argue, hey, if Anthony Richardson cleans it up a little bit, he could be amazing.
But that's not his game.
That little if you're just casually throwing in that statement, that definitely not happening.
He hasn't showed it. And just watching the early training camp of him just skying footballs to guys.
The fact that Dan Jones is going to be the starter says everything you need to know about Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson is your backup plan. It's just
they're playing the floor. They want the floor.
I get it. If I was on the Colts, I think you got to play Anthony Richardson because
oh my God, you have to.
Yeah. Why? What's the point in playing Dan Jones? Like honestly, this year, if
you think he can win games,
you spent a lot of draft capital on Anthony Richardson, knowing Anthony Richardson was a project. I just don't think he's going to get better by sitting back and put him out there. And if he really sucks, then maybe you know that you have to get rid of him and move on.
Now, if you went out and got Dan Jones and drafted Riley Leonard because all three guys can kind of run the rock, because you plan on changing the offense to where you're just going to have that it's the same thing we want from Justin Fields, right? Like give me 10 to 15 carries a game from the quarterbacks, and then maybe I'm interested. I don't.
Does that seem like they're going to be adjusting the offense in that way?
Okay, if your job's on the line and you're Shane Steichen,
yeah, and
you can't change the quarterbacks at this point, like maybe Dan Jones is all you could get for the money you had. What and in general, Ballard is like a tools guy, so Dan Jones got the big, long, big body. Used to have a big arm. If you're Steichen, you didn't get a quarterback. You could draft Riley Leonard and you sign Dan Jones. That's your solution. What does that tell you about the head coach's plan? It has to involve something where they're just going to commit to run. If we run the quarterback like we don't care about any of these guys, maybe we can build an edge, like Colby always says. With but
weren't you saying that the fans and the local people were saying they were worried about injuring these quarterbacks? I mean, both guys have crazy injury history.
So certainly I think it was a question maybe asked of Steichen in the spring by one of the beat reporters, like, what are you at all worried about? But what if the answer to that question is, well, we're just going to run all of them. We're going to bring Riley Leonard in. I
mean, that's what I would do, but I don't know if that's
well. All right. So anyway, back to so is this, if you're Shane Steichen, is it you run the same shit you've been doing, or you try to further adapt your offense, something he's kind of known for, to get the most out of your like, how do you get the most juice out of this offense? You allow the offensive line to be bullies in the run game because they're not the same unit pass blocking.
I mean, look at Riley Leonard. Remember the championship game? They just ran him like 9 times in that first drive.
I mean, they have a type at quarterback. And so the idea,
run first quarterbacks,
the idea that they're going to, get after it on the ground. Okay.
But I think this team,
can you at least show a threat of passing the ball?
I think they have an incredibly low floor. Like
lower than the Saints?
Not necessarily, but I do think
close though.
I think fewest wins for the Colts is in play.
Really?
Because
I was going to bring this up later because
Dan Jones as a starter, Dan Jones is a locker room guy, and Anthony Richardson as a locker room guy. Remember, a big reason he got benched was he lost the locker room for taking himself out of a game. And we're supposed to bet on this guy's over. So I think if you're betting the Colts, the only value is betting extremes of both sides. Like I don't feel, and we'll walk through their win total, but I don't feel like a solid over, a solid. I think it could go horribly wrong. Now I like Jonathan Taylor. You could make excuses for the offensive line injuries last year. Maybe the offensive line is better. I think our ranking has him at 21st.
Well, they lost. They had significant loss.
They lost a bunch of guys.
The highest price
big
guard
turnover
on the market came from the Colts, and then they lost their center. So I did enjoy to see that when I was watching highlights that Mark Lewinsky was on the team. Strange because I could have sworn I read a eulogy for him about 3 years back after that Week 1 Cowboys Giants game. When he was just murdered in front of all of us.
Talk about eulogies. What about defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo, who we know from the
coordinator.
Cincinnati Bengals? That's the worst defense last year. Now, some of it was their talent, sure, and I do think this Colts team probably has better defensive talent than the Bengals last year, but.
They were a sit back and make you beat them defense. So at least they had moments. Like they were very zone heavy. Now I don't know what Lou plans on doing, but when's the last time he was a good, like he got a little bit of credit for like slowing Mahomes down the year they beat him back in 2021. Right. And okay.
Getting the Bengals to the Super Bowl and they
sure. But then after 3 years of nothing,
after the Bengals lost to the Rams, what have you seen out of that defense where you're like, yeah, that's a guy I want? Now they Latu UCLA guy. I thought he had some flashes there. There's certainly some things.
Players. That's their defense will be. I mean, what did they finish last year? DVOA. Are you looking at the sheet? They were 15th. Yeah, I was gonna say they will be. They're an average defense. They'll get shredded by some people. And then other like certain schemes they'll do well against. They have
a good front seven. I think the secondary is a little soft. I think if you have a good offensive line, you can throw on this Colts team. So I think they could be a good over team.
I think specifically if you can attack the deep part of the field, I think you can have success. But yeah, I mean, middle of the road defense. The offense somehow finished 19th, and this is the part that I guess scares me about fading them. Is that Shane Steichen is a bit of a wizard when it comes to creating offensive production.
Shout out to a guy named Rogue in the chat going, I actually think I saw these guys doing a live show last time I was at the Circuit. Didn't realize it was this podcast. Well, come say hi, bang on the glass.
Yeah.
They allow a light pounding on the glass over at the VSiN studio. Come say what's up. A couple other nuggets I wanted to get out.
Could have gotten a handshake too.
League low, Anthony Richardson, 47% of his passes. He led the league in inaccurate throws, 8 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. They also have 2. I saw my takeaway from the Colts subreddit was they're not excited about Daniel Jones, the fan base.
How could they be?
And they ran a poll question: what streak will end first? Not winning a game since 2013, or not winning. So the last time they won a game on opening day was 2013. Last time they won in Jacksonville was 2014. Ryan, what streak ends first for them?
I don't know. Neither.
I think it's got to be the Jacksonville thing because of it's a division team. You know them. You figure you got to get lucky one of these times. The opening day thing, maybe it's just random or maybe it's just some sort of curse. It's going to be tough to talk myself into them week 1. I would say bright parts. Steichen, I think, is a good schemer. I think we're ultimately going to
schemer.
We're going to find out that Steichen is a better coordinator than a head coach, because like you look at like how this all the first quarter metrics were great for the Colts. Like when they started out, even with Anthony Richardson, they started out, I think they led the league or somewhere on the top end of first quarter points, because when they have those scripted plays that they're running, Steichen is great. But then it's when you're getting AR-15 to make the adjustments or people are adjusting off them, that's where the offense falls apart.
Is that the coaching? Is that in-game adjustment, or is that inability to run plays that you didn't practice over and over?
Yeah, I think it's certainly some of it does fall on Steichen and the quarterback. I mean, because if you're able to succeed early, what's stopping you from getting it going late?
Yeah, I mean both these quarterbacks finished with a negative EPA per play last year. I mean,
but just eye test too. I vividly remember where I was watching the Colts on the big screen, and some of the throws that Anthony Richardson was. This was pre this shoulder injury thing that he's working his way through.
would you say, as far as a quarterback room, this is the most inaccurate quarterback room in the league?
Oh my God, yeah. Well, just start with Anthony Richardson. That's going to be tough to beat. And then Dan Jones, not particularly accurate, especially as of late. And then Riley Leonard, he's a rookie. He's a run first rookie.
Not known for his arm,
Yeah.
necessarily.
So I think it's tough to be super optimistic. I think what's the ceiling case for them? The offensive line holds together. The ceiling case for them is somehow you have a Sam Darnold resurgence for Daniel Jones. I don't see that. Or AR-15.
That's the more
completely
likely one.
makes a jump.
Well,
And
let's pretend like he wasn't, doing his. He was. So they have this concept with the youth sports. The coaches will always reinforce the idea. It's not just about when you're coming to practice. It's about the all the stuff you have to be accountable for to be great.
yeah,
And I don't think Anthony Richardson was doing much stuff outside of the practice. And so what if he did?
no, of course not.
What if he did commit himself? I think there's certainly versions where he figures it out and they are amazing. But again, it seems like Dan Jones is going to be the starter. And that, by you saying that, you're saying we are done with this dude. And if you're done with that dude and you're hoping that Dan Jones is going to take you to the promised land, something happened when he hurt his neck for the second time. And I'm telling you, some of his soul left his body. I don't know.
I think he doesn't want to be back there.
Again, go watch some of his misses down the field last year. It's almost
that thing where you're throwing, but you're also protecting yourself.
There's no anticipation and you're terrified of the next hit.
And this is the big camp report coming out of Colts camp. Colts, Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson struggle as QB battle begins. How am I going to be in on this team?
You can't be.
No, you can't.
Now they have some talent on the offensive side, and that's where it gets weird. It's like Tyler. Well, we didn't even get to talk about Tyler Warren, his small hands.
And his tiny hands.
But
you hate him, Ryan.
Well,
I thought they had a pretty solid draft. I think they have talent on defense, but I don't believe in the defensive coordinator, and I don't believe in either quarterback.
Do you believe in Jim Bob Cooter? He's back in our life.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I like.
He was there last year.
This doesn't. If my job's on the line, this is not the coordinator crew that I don't want Lou Anarumo and Jim Bob Cooter.
Yeah,
for my job. And I don't want my quarterbacks to be. Shane Steichen just has to be thinking about where he's going to be a coaching assistant.
Yeah, OC coming up next. Hey, of course, shout out to Circa Las Vegas, Circa Million, where we got 20 million in prizes guaranteed. Super fun contests. Circa Million picking 5 teams every week against the spread. Circa Survivor, you guys know Survivor, and then Circa Grandissimo, Survivor on steroids, $100,000 entry fee. We're considering maybe putting a team together. Hit us up, podcast at SGPN.io if you're interested in investing. But again, come hang out with us August 21st through the 23rd for contest sign up weekend, live shows. They have an open bar. You get 15% off your stay when you use the promo code SGP15. And if you're participating in the contest, which I highly, highly recommend, you need a proxy to put in your picks. Now, even if you live in the great state of Nevada, you're still going to want a proxy because it's good to have a backup plan. You oversleep, whatever. Proxies are great for getting your picks in, and it means you can play from anywhere. Even our buddy from New Zealand, Ryan, making bacon, the New Zealand butcher, he can join.
From the future.
It would be great to, that probably helps him with the picks. It'd be great to see him at the Circa, come out, sign up for the contest. And hit up footballcontest.com, promo code SGP, get your $50 off your proxy fees. And of course, we're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Love some good underdog pick'em, where you can win 500x. Great. You're looking just for some extra action here, some day baseball, firing off some higher lowers. Again, it is pick'em, but of course, you can use some of the plays from the MLB props show, the WNBA props, and get in on some extra action. You can win up to 500x in their pick'em, and of course, 15 million up for grabs in the Underdog Best Ball Mania. Get started with a up to $1,000 cash bonus, and all you got to do, underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN, underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN.
All right, Sean. So a little bit. It's funny that we're doing this team and the Falcons on the same day because a little bit my gambling instincts are disagreeing with my football ball knowing,
Hmm.
which is vetoing in both cases and saying no, I know better. I'm not going to listen to you.
No,
I
no.
see why this team could be fine. And at a win total of 7.5, I could also see the argument to get them over, even if the team is not that impressive. But like Sean said, I think the floor is very, very low.
Very low floor.
Make playoffs is plus 186, missed minus 235, 310 to win the division, which was the same price as the Jags when I bet them not that long ago. 35 to 1 to win the AFC, 80 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, you can't have those types of odds with those quarterbacks, right? I mean, you hate Trevor Lawrence, but he shouldn't be the same level as Anthony Richardson and Dan Jones. Right?
Yeah, and at least for me, it's easier to sell the upside of like, hey, Liam Cohen coming in,
there's unknown,
new sexy offense. It's a little easier to sell it. Now, I guess the counter is they were 6-5 with Anthony Richardson last year. Somehow, I
should have been better. Should have beaten. Probably should have beaten that. Won that Denver.
That Broncos game was crazy, but again, I really don't want to have money on rooting interests of Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. That's where I'm getting at.
Yeah, they are favored 4 times only, and we'll see how this one goes. They lose a home game with that trip across the pond as well. So first 4. And I almost in a strange way could see them surprising someone early, and then that being that Miami at home. Again, we've talked about this game a bit. Colts not exactly world beaters that week 1. Denver week 2. Catching Denver in your place here is good. A little revenge from last year. Jonathan Taylor will not drop the ball before he runs into the end zone. If I was an owner, I would make that a 6-figure fine. If you are running into the end zone and you just willingly drop the ball before you cross, $100,000 fine.
Yeah, that really was the thing that swung it.
At Tennessee, at Los Angeles to play the Rams, the first back-to-back road spot on the season. Sean,
man, I'm kind of thinking 1-3. Like I don't love the idea of Miami as a road favorite, but we know how bad the Colts are week 1. Daniel Jones only getting 1.5, who will probably be the starter. Denver, maybe it's a revenge game, but Denver matches up so well against them. At Tennessee, I think is certainly winnable for this Colts team. Although it's on the road, it's a dome team outside.
The Colts defense was giving Bo Nix a lot of trouble.
That's true.
So
that was one of as far as Bo Nix's individual games, like later on in the season, that was definitely one of his worst.
He had some nice plays, but he had some back-breaking interceptions.
I don't know if they cover, but I probably think Denver gets the outright win. Tennessee, maybe, but if there is I do think Tennessee starts slow. But if there is a game,
I'm chopping
Tennessee
up
is gonna win. It might be at home there at the Rams. I'm gonna have to take the Rams. I have them going 1-3 here.
And yeah, let me just make. I definitely had them. Tennessee. I had them winning on R. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, they maybe get. I'm kind of with you. I think they get the Tennessee game. Maybe.
Tennessee.
No, you know what? I'll give Tennessee that game. I'll chop it up in the division. I'll say they split the home game. So 1-3.
Yeah,
that's where you're at.
2-2 almost feels like a bit of a stretch here.
The Denver game will be an interesting. Is that the point spread? You think when we're talking about this game week 2?
I don't know. I feel like the public is going to see Dan Jones in game 1 and they're going to react accordingly.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they get over their first game curse. The Miami shouldn't be a road favorite. You could definitely make that case. Miami has issues with their offensive line, which we'll talk about on the team preview.
So really it should be 0-4.
Well, I think Tennessee, cause it's their third game, might have and I don't have the AFC South flow chart in front of me, but I'll say 1-3 because Yeah, maybe they. To your point, they did play Denver well. Maybe they beat Miami. I don't think they beat the Rams. 1-3 makes sense.
I almost want to go on 4 now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not crazy.
They don't win week 1. Are they going to beat Denver?
I don't think so.
What you know what? We'll say 1. We'll say 1.
One feels realistic because they do have Jonathan Taylor, and their defense.
That's how you beat
horrible.
Denver. You if you can run on Denver's defense, that's how you can get some work done. But they need to pass the ball a little bit. Now you know what? 0-4. Vegas, Vegas Raiders coming to their place.
Someone didn't like our Raiders.
We did it wrong.
No, he just said it's
like,
horrible. Never do it again. I'm like, that's the I've heard. Trust me, as a guy who lives in LA, I've heard of Raiders. You can go after my impressions, but I'm nailing the Raiders. Come on.
Yeah, I think not only are we doing it right, he clearly hasn't yelled it in Vegas and heard the echo. Heard the echo of the hallowed halls of Circa as I cash a hand pay with the Raiders. Cardinals coming to town at Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. Are we giving the Colts home edge at SoFi there?
No, Colts fans don't travel.
You don't think so? They're not. They don't get on planes, probably, right?
No.
They like to stay on the ground.
No, a Midwest fan base. They only drive.
They don't like the planes. And then Tennessee at home. Now that's a win. There's 3 home games in this little stretch here. I certainly like their chances to get some wins here. So can they get 2 out of 3?
I mean, you're rock hard over the Cardinals.
Well, Nolan being out for that defensive line and the Cardinals, Walter Nolan dealing with a calf, some sort of soft tissue thing. I mean, the run defense is what I'm concerned about. Vegas just lost Christian Wilkins. I mean, crazy story to cut a guy, all the guaranteed money. We'll see what comes out. He's best buds with Dexter Lawrence. I say, come on down. Raiders are paying you. Come play for the Giants for the season. Maybe you're healthy. It seems like maybe he's, I don't know, a lot of controversy there, but all these teams deficient against the run. So you could see the Colts racking up some wins. Maybe 2's not enough. I say they win 2 out of 3 home games and they lose the Charger game.
All right, I'm going 1-3. I think they win one of the home games.
You're only giving them one of those home games.
Well, because I liked your 0-4 early. 2-6 sounds about right for this Colts team, and we should probably revisit Shane Steichen, first coach fired.
Yeah.
I think those odds are what is it? 10-1.
I'm going to double check, but I believe it's 10-1.
Yeah. Cause it could just go really bad.
Yeah, you're right. And they're not even playing great teams here.
No.
I'm going to go 2-2 here for me.
But also too, it's like a new leadership. You could totally see them. Oh, okay. Hey, we had Peyton Manning. Maybe we just suck for a little bit and get Arch Manning. That'll solve all our problems. You can definitely see ownership having that discussion. Yeah, well, that's also true. Arch Manning probably is not going to come out next year.
Yeah, people are starting to catch up to that one, but Shane Steichen, what did I say? 10-1.
Yeah,
6-1.
Oh wow! Yeah, so I'm not playing that, but that should tell you what the market or where we're at with this Colts team.
Yeah. All right. So we're both at 2-6. Sounds like it, right?
And I see wax to face. I think you might be a Colts fan saying, "Wow, I feel like they improved this offseason."
Yeah, everywhere but the quarterback position.
Yeah, I think you
had Joe Flacco. Now you don't have Joe Flacco.
I mean, if I was a Colts fan, I would just say, "Hey, Anthony Richardson was 6-5." But you look at those wins. I just don't see it. I'm not going to be on any sort of overs with AR-15 and Daniel Jones. Now, and if you're on the over on any of this stuff, play AR-15, most rushing touchdowns, Super Bowl, like MVP, because that it has to be through him or I guess Daniel Jones, but that feels impossible.
That would be very surprising. I would say. All right, next for at Pittsburgh, and again now we're that cushy 3 home games in 4 is going to turn salty real quick. At Pittsburgh, then we go from Pittsburgh to a game in Germany.
Du Haas.
Where I'm sure a lot of those Midwestern people probably not going to take the bus to Germany, and then they are
fuel up the station wagon.
They are opting for the bye,
going to Frankfurt.
So we've had this conversation now. Some teams taking the bye, some teams not taking the bye.
How are they only getting 1.5 points against the Texans at home? That feels like a misprint.
Dan Jones does have experience overseas. Maybe that will imagine it. They need to do some sort of Anthony Richardson reality show while they do the international trip. So they come back, they take the bye, then they have at Chiefs and then Texans coming to town. The Texan Colt games are always fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm actually gonna chop that up and give the Colts the win against the Texans.
Okay.
I don't know it's 3 straight you have at Pittsburgh, at Germany, at Kansas City
with the bye in there. But then we've gone over the numbers. It does seem like it's actually, for whatever reason, better not to take the bye, which I think defies logic.
Small sample size, I guess, is how I'd reply to that. So what are you doing here? Are they getting? Is it 1 and 3?
1 and 3. I'm not gonna lock myself into which teams, or which games, but how do they win 2 of those games? I think they either win at the Germany game or the Texans game. They're not winning at Kansas City or Pittsburgh. I don't think that's a crazy statement.
No.
That Steelers defense and Tomlin against Anthony. It might be an ugly ass game against the Steelers, but they're not winning it. I would be very surprised.
No, I mean maybe they cover against the Chiefs.
No.
All right, last 4 at Jags, at Seattle. That's a rough back-to-back.
It's a lot of travel.
Then you have San Francisco, Jacksonville, and at Houston. So they're losing all the road games. I think Seattle's defense will be fine and very equipped to stop this offense. Can they win both those home games?
No, this team sucks because they have Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones as their quarterback.
All right, so if I go 1 and 4 here, what does that get me to?
So you're 1 and 3, and then 1 and 4.
Yeah.
You have them 4 and 13.
Ooh.
I'm also 4 and 13.
Is that too much?
1 and 4.
Is that too much?
I mean, I'm playing it like the bottom case. Now I understand they have Jonathan Taylor, but you can rack up a bunch of rushing yards and not win games.
Do I have to bump them up 1? No, I don't have to. Let me check to see what I had the Titans at 5 and 12. So I have the Colts finishing in 4. I kind of like that take.
Yeah,
I like that.
Colts last place. Colts last place. We'll break down all the bets, but 4 and 13. As much as they have a decent roster, you have nothing at quarterback. You really have nothing at quarterback. Colts fans, if you're upset, I'm sorry. Your team and the fan base knows it. I was in the fan base. You don't have
to apologize.
I went undercover as a Colts fan. They're out on Daniel Jones, and the fact that they're basically trying to give Daniel Jones the job, that tells you everything about the state of the Indianapolis Colts.
They want to rescue him with Anthony Richardson.
No one has ever had a great season trying to give Daniel Jones the job.
No,
never.
But you would say that hypothetically, you were looking at a market that had Anthony Richardson listed in the most rushing touchdowns in the division.
Now, what's that price at?
I don't have it.
All right,
they're not listing it.
We'll get to that in just a second. Of course, shout out to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. If you haven't signed up with MyBookie, what are you waiting for? Great time to take some of that Bitcoin, toss it over to MyBookie, get in on the action. You get the you can head over to the casino.
The slot. How's the slot?
It's always a fun, of course.
You know I'm a degenerate.
Get in over there. Good way to lock up some future bets. We got the Hall of Fame game coming up, Ryan.
Oh yeah.
What's the number on the Hall of Fame game?
Great question.
We'll look that up, but we're going to be breaking it down. And of course, 100% match up to $1,000. Now there is a rollover, so terms and conditions apply. Make sure you. But I'm looking at the 200,000 endless summer blackjack tournament. They're just always having a good time over at MyBookie. Bunch of fun, entertaining bets. Get in on the action. MyBookie.ag. Promo code SGPN.
I was actually pulling up the Hall of Fame game. It's
Oh.
Detroit -1.
Okay.
32.5 is the
Ooh,
total.
that's a little high.
Touch high. Well,
I
last
feel
year
like
it went
last year it
soaring
closed at
over,
like 29.
and it soared over.
Yeah. Smash that. Well, I'll probably be on the under, but I'm going to let my models. And speaking of models, get your own model today over at Rhythm. And of course, you can just rely on their power trends if you don't want to build your own model, or just build your own. NFL product dropping in time for the season. College football. Last year they crushed it with the FCS totals. Sign up for the full year now. Get a great price. And just try it out. Get your 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Ryan, I'm looking at my DMs right now. No one has DM'd me yet saying they didn't like the 7-day free trial.
That maybe because they're scared of your DMs.
Oh, well,
or maybe because it's a great free trial. All right. So what are we putting Shane Steichen 6-1 first coach fired?
No, because there's a ton of variables, and maybe they want to hang on to him. I don't know. At 6-1, I'm not taking any first coach fired, but I'm obviously hammering. And this might be when we do our locks, Ryan, for the NFL win totals at the end of the preview season, leading up to the kickoff. This might be one of them. I feel pretty strongly they're not going to get over 7.5. Now,
alt.
What are the alt numbers looking like?
Let's see.
Well, because I
love that we live in a time where you can just pull up every number. There's no longer you have to. I hope they have one. No, they have every number. So if you wanted to play, what are you at? 5, 4.
I'm at 4.
Under 4.5 is 4-1.
You know what? I'm just gonna play fewest wins at 17-1 because if they only have 4 wins,
that's way better. You're
gonna be in the mix there for worst. Is that record.
The price there?
Yeah, for the Colts.
Mark that. I'm in on that.
Okay,
I'm in on that.
Now there is obviously some potential upside with the rushing quarterbacks, but this
isn't fantasy football, Sean.
No, but the problem is there's 2 of them, potentially 3 of them. So even like your long shot bets. And maybe we're not going to. Maybe we will end up jinxing AR-15 but like why not? Early on in the preseason we talked about Riley Leonard most passing yards just for the team. It was like 20-1 just based on the fact that Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones not finishing the season healthy is like if Riley Leonard starts the most games, is that crazy? Like
yes, but. Kind
but like let's say he starts the last 6 games and then the other 11 games are maybe get 5 and so let's say he starts the last 7 games.
They don't have they do have it up, but they do not have Riley Leonard listed. Cowards. Most passing yards in the division, Dan Jones is 20-1. Any interest?
What is it?
20-1. Dan Jones, most passing yards.
No.
Anthony Richardson, 50-1.
Most passing yards.
Yep.
Now, at least I'll say this: if we're at least AR-15 throws it deep. Like you look at the air yards, Daniel Jones doesn't throw it deep. AR-15, the thing he does, if you're playing the ceiling case for the AFC South, I think you got to go to something like this with the AR-15. Most passing yards in the division.
Rushing touchdowns.
What's the rushing touchdown?
They don't have it. They don't have a rushing touchdown.
They're scared to list it.
Yeah, very
much.
Which
is crazy because if anything, Dan Jones and AR-15 are going to eat into each other's workload. So
they won't even list them for most rushing touchdowns in the NFL. Cowards.
Scared. But all right. Do we take Anthony Richardson most passing yards, Ryan, in the division at 50-1? Wouldn't call it insurance.
No.
Just covering our bases. No. Just because they have a good offensive line.
No.
They got Michael Pittman.
No.
Josh Downs. Tyler Warren racking up garbage yards.
Come on. You just talked about how you watch this guy in the preseason. And you come on.
He is racking up passing yards does involve completing passes.
Yeah, no, he's not. We're not doing that.
Even he averaged 164.9 yards per game, even connecting on a bunch of those deep passes. Anthony Richardson. So I don't, as much as it's fun to, if you are positive, if you're a Colts fan, I think that's the thing I would take.
I found it.
What?
So you can bet on Riley Leonard to lead the Colts in passing yards.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
earlier.
so I found 40-1.
Oh, it's up to 40-1.
Yeah, let's take that.
Okay, yeah.
That's now that I can get behind. The idea that Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones both don't play more than 2 games,
yes.
and we just get dumb lucked into that.
I mean,
in fact, make sure you phone the accountant on this one.
Anthony Richardson, there was a whole thing about how he should have shoulder surgery, but he's deciding not to have shoulder surgery.
Let's put a ridiculous amount of money on this bet.
Is this our make good for Will Levis?
I mean, yeah, just the idea of rooting for Dan Jones to get hit in the neck just from the get go.
It's kind of personal for you, Kramer. You're out for blood.
Oh, absolutely. Double blood. Other than that, I like the least wins. I mean, to me, this is one of the stronger win total plays for me on the under. And
well, because of how far off we are from the number. Now, maybe we're obviously we are leaning into the floor case here, but the floor case has a lot of ways to get there. 1, Daniel Jones sucks. 2, Anthony Richardson sucks. Those are your 2 main quarterbacks. Them sucking is really going to hurt the win total.
Yeah. They don't just they suck, and they have like real low floors on doing.
They suck and they're injury prone. That is not a great combination for the NFL. Now, at least and how Anthony Richardson got to 6-5. Maybe Shane Steichen is an amazing
he's a genius
head coach. But and to your point, Ryan, maybe this is a team that we pivot when they run the ball 40 times against the Miami Dolphins.
Cover the spread.
A la the instead of what was that? I'm blanking on the Wildcat.
Oh yeah,
they run the Wildcat, but it's with their actual quarterback. And maybe there is that possible scenario, but I'm going to lean into just, hey, they're going to let Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones try and throw the football, and we're getting a good number against them.
So Riley Leonard is 75-1 to win the Rookie of the Year. I like the 40. I feel like the chances that
no, because you have to be good to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
If you're a quarterback, you got to get your team into the playoffs.
I don't think he needs to do much for the Colts, but yeah, the idea that he leads the team in passing is much more fun to bet on.
Yeah, I saw offensive Rookie of the Year in the chat, because him leading and passing, it's not relying on Riley Leonard being good. It's just relying on Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson not finishing the season. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, has Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones finished the season in the past 2 years?
No.
Okay. So maybe we got a chance.
We have a huge chance. It should not be 40-1.
No,
they're reckless.
Crazy.
Some intern is going to get in trouble when that bet comes across the wire.
Oh, what are you doing? You're putting us under, kid.
Any other angles?
A shout out to D Bettis in the chat. He's got them 6-11, but he's struggling to get to 6 wins. Yeah, I think their ceiling case for me is 7. Now I know the official prediction 4-13 for me, 4-13 for Kramer. We're both on under 7.5 wins, fewest wins at 17-1, and Riley Leonard for the most Colts passing yards there at 40-1.
There, one more I want to bring up.
Okay,
we talked about it with the Titans, the last team, and we ended up both taking it. The under 2.5 division wins here is +150.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from it just because it's the AFC South.
The logic the last time, at least for me, was I could really see Houston and Jacksonville sweeping these teams.
Yeah,
I know it's division. I know the division's wonky. The flow chart now is gonna spit in our face.
Well, I respect the flow chart, and these teams.
But that's a juicy price. Again, I mean, they might not have quarterback play.
Yeah, I get it. I'm sticking.
Mark me down under 2.5.
Under a 2.5 division wins.
That's too much. I mean, 1.5 to 1, Sean.
Yeah, I get it. I get the case against. Hey, 32 NFL team previews. Go back, catch up. We're already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is our 9th team. And again, keep up with the phrase that pays.
Also,
Yes.
go back and I'm sure if they're catching up on the NFL previews, they certainly skipped the college previews.
Oh yeah, the college football conference previews. We also have a bunch of NFL futures markets we broke down as podcasts. There's a bunch of great content, and of course we got our VSiN show tomorrow night, 8 to 11, over on YouTube TV, Sirius XM, a bunch of regular radio stations depending on the market. And and then back live with more team previews Sunday night. What are we doing Sunday night, Ryan?
I'm gonna rattle off next week's schedule so people can get excited. We got Sunday night. We got Dolphins with a special guest. We have a we'll call it a man in the box doubleheader on Monday with the Jags and the Seahawks. Also bonus show. We have me and Sean drafting in the FFPC Pros versus Joe's best ball draft. We took it down. Yes. I was reminded, Sean, we took it down and finished top 5 overall. And last year, even though we didn't win, we did finish top 25 overall. So,
yeah. How many teams? It's in
I think it's like a dozen leagues or so. So, you know,
12 it's like 150. Yeah. We were top 20%.
We were top, top couple in our division. And then Tuesday we have the Cardinals with a very special guest.
Oh, yes.
Producer Ryan Rich Fat Baby McKee. Bears also on Tuesday. Maybe we'll talk some Canadian football. Wink. A Cowboys preview where we have a first time guest coming on to help us preview it.
Yeah, Gumby from the MMA gambling podcast on our network.
Then we have Wednesday night, the Hall of Fame game pick show, which will be at 8:30. Again, we're getting our soft tissue, whatever muscles you want to talk about. We're getting those ready.
Got to get an IV for the studio.
Then Thursday we got Pats and Steelers. In fact, every preview next week we'll have a guest, so we're loaded. And yeah, so that's we're 9. This is the 9th team preview. I think we're going to be doing 8 next week. Hot and heavy. 2 days is happening. And honestly, Sean, I told you this the other day in the office. I have the schedule built out basically into football season.
Let's go
with real bullets. We are we are dangerously close also to college football week 0. Sean.
And that's another weekend. Yeah, that's another reason to come out for the Circus sign up weekend. College football week 0. Great reason. Come out, get your futures in, hang out. And it's going to be a great weekend.
As Colby likes to say, see about your futures.
And of course, as always,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second Money Green. He's Ryan.
Colts might be the worst team, Sean.
Kramer, let it ride.
I'm wet.